Hello class, how are you all learners? I hope you are doing well as I am. I'm welcoming you to this new edition of e-learning. Last time I came here to discuss about fractions and then we also said that we have spoken about type of fractions. We said that we have proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed fractions. We have also learned how to convert mixed fractions into improper fractions. And we said 3 steps are involved in converting mixed fraction into improper fractions. Step number 1, we said we should multiply the whole number part by the fractions denominator. We also said that after that we add that to the numerator, then write the result on top of the denominator. And I gave you assignments. You did very well. Keep it up. Today we are still going to continue with fractions, but our objectives will not be the same. Today's topic, fractions. Objective number 1, you should be able to identify like fractions, and then you should be able to add like fractions. Without wasting time, let's look at the definition of like fractions. What are like fractions? Per your previous knowledge, what do you think like fractions are? Quickly write your answer down so that we'll compare after my answer. Very good. Like fractions are fractions that have the exact same denominator. Say it after me. Like fractions are fractions that have the exact same denominator. You are doing very well. Last time we discussed what a denominator is. Next, is it not so? We have said that a denominator is the number that is at the bottom in the fraction. So when we are dealing with fraction, the number that is at the bottom is called denominator. And we are saying here that like fractions are fractions that have the exact same denominator. So let's look at another thing about like fractions. It doesn't matter what the numerator is, so long as the denominators are the same. We have also looked at what we call numerator. The numerator is the number that is at the top in a fraction. Okay. We are saying that the number that's at the top may be different, may change from one to another, but the denominators, as far as they are the same, we said we will call these fractions like fraction. Quickly look at this example. Example number 1. We are having 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 4 out of 5. These 3 fractions are having the same denominator, which is 5. True or false? Nice one. And the top, the numerators are not the same. We have 1, we have 2, we have 4. It has gone by the rule or the definition of like fractions. So we'll call these fractions like fractions. Follow this example and give me some like fractions. Write them down quickly. Okay, look at my next example. 1 out of 9, 2 out of 9, 3 out of 9, and 4 out of 9. If you look at it very well, all of them are having the same denominator, which is 9, and the numerators are the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. So write your examples down as I'm also writing mine. And my third example is 1 out of 1 out of 7, 3 out of 7, and 4 out of 7. The denominators are the same and the numerators are not the same. We call this one like fractions. So either the numerators are changing or not. As far as the numerators are the same, we said they are called like fractions. I hope you are getting me. Very good. So let's quickly see how we can add like fractions. In adding like fractions, there are 3 simple steps to add like fractions. Okay, or in general, to add fractions, there are 3 simple steps. Number 1, make sure the bottom numbers, which are the denominators, are the same. Make sure the denominators are the same. That's step number 1. Step number 2, add the top numbers that we call the numerators. Put that answer over the denominator. Step number 3, simplify the fraction. Step number 3, simplify the fraction if possible. Okay, I'm giving you some few minutes to go over again. Step number 1, you say we should make sure that our bottom numbers, the denominators, are the same. And that is what we are even learning today, that the denominators will be the same. Is it not so? Very good. And then step 2, since the denominators are the same, they said we should just add the top, the numerators. You add the numerators and then put that answer, after adding the answer, over the denominator that you just keep that one that is the same. Okay. And then step number 3, they say simplify the fraction if needed. It's not always that you are to simplify. If it's needed, you simplify. If it's at the simplest form, you leave it like that. So these are the theory aspects. So let's quickly move to the calculation aspects, okay, so that you understand what we are talking about. Activity 1, they say we should add 1/4 and 1/4. We should add 1/4 and 1/4. Okay. So how do we go by it? Don't forget our step number 1. The step number 1 said make sure the bottom numbers, which are the denominators, are the same. Here they are already the same. So my solution will be 1/4, okay, plus 1/4. The 2 does that. The denominators are the same. So the step number 2, add the top numbers. We should add the top numbers. So I'm adding them. 1 plus 1 put that answer over the denominator. So the denominator, they say we should keep it, since they are the same. Then this one will lead me to get what? 2 over 4. 2 over 4 is not the simplest form, so I have to simplify it. Is it not so? So if I should divide the top by 2 and divide the bottom also by 2, I will get 1 over 2. That will be our final answer. So meaning 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 will give us 1 over 2, which means half, or 1 out of 2. I hope you have gotten it. Step number 1 has said that we should verify whether our denominators are the same, and here they are the same already. Step number 2, add the numerators. We should add the numerators and have added them, 1 plus 1. Then we get what? 2. On top of the denominator, this is our denominator. Since they are the same, we don't change them, just rewrite it. So looking at this answer, it is not the simplest form. We can get the simplest form by dividing the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. And now I'm having what? 1 out of 2. That will be our final answer. So when it is possible, it is needed to simplify it. We want to get the lowest numbers. The lowest numbers over here is 1 over 2, because if I should divide this one by any number again, it will not be possible because of the 1, which is the lowest number for the top, and the lowest number for the bottom is 2. Okay, that is the simplest form of 2 over 4. Well done. Very good. And we can also, this is what we just described, just spoke about. We can also represent 1/4, okay, by using our our pizza. They divided the pizza into 4, so you have taken 1 out of it, is it not so? And you have added it to another one again, 1 out of 4. So if I should put the second one on the first one, this is what we'll get, is it not so? We'll get 2 out of what? 4. And looking at the thing very well, if they are together, you can see that it's half of the pizza. That's why we are saying, if it's possible, you should what? Simplify it. So the half is the same as 2 over 4. Well done. Now let's look at activity number 2. The activity number 2 is saying we should add 2 over 6 and 1 out of 6. We should add 2 out of 6 and 1 out of 6. Without wasting time, let's start. We are going to follow the same steps. Step number 1, make sure the bottom numbers are the same. And obviously in our question here, they are already the same. You don't need to change them. Okay, so I am going to represent the 2 out of 6 with a fraction that you are seeing there. That is 2 out of 6. 1, 2. 2 out of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have taken 1, 2. Are you okay? 2 out of 6. Okay. Then and is the same as plus. Look at this one. 1 out of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have taken only 1. 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6. Okay, they said make sure the bottom numbers are the same. Yeah, they are the same already. Yeah, then we can move to the next step. Add the top numbers. They say we should add the top numbers. Here we have 2 plus 1. Put that answer over the denominator. Our denominator is 6. Then we go ahead and get the answer. This one will give us 3 over 6. 3 over 6. And it is possible for us to simplify 3 over 6. I can decide to divide it by 3. So if I divide 3 over 6, I will get what? If I should divide 3 by 3, I will get 1. Okay? And if I should divide 6, the denominator, by 3, I will get what? 2. And as you see, our pizza over here is half of the pizza. Is it not so? It's half of the whole pizza. Then that is 1 over 2. Meaning 3 over 6 is the same as 1 over 2. That will be the topic that we'll be dealing with next time. Call them equivalent fractions. Okay, for now, we will not go into deeper. Thank you very much for following. This is exactly what we spoke about. And today's lesson has come to an end. We have finished with today's lesson. What have you learned today? Today we have learned how to identify like fractions. And we said like fractions are fractions that have this exact same denominator. The exact same denominator. We have given some examples that 1 over 5, 2 over 5, 4 over 5. As far as the denominators are the same, which is 5, then we said they are all like fractions. The next step, we have learned how to add like fractions. And we have said that for you to add fractions, there are 3 steps. We say step 1, make sure the bottom numbers, which are the denominators, are the same. And then add the top numbers that we call the numerators. Put the answer over the denominator. Step 3, simplify the fraction if needed. Sometime when we finish, it is already simplified, so we don't need to continue. So we did 2 activities over here. We did 2 activities. I will give you the opportunity to do some in your various homes. Okay, look at these ones. We are going to add the fractions below. 2 out of 5 plus 1 out of 5. 3 out of 7 plus 2 out of 7. 1 out of 8 plus 3 out of 8. Make sure you do it very well so that we will continue with the next topic on our next meeting. Thank you for following from the beginning to the end of this session. I love you all. Goodbye.